Update. Family suddenly against me 27 male, not wanting anything to do with my ex and baby after finding out I'm not the father. Original story. All of it came out a while back. My now ex-girlfriend had a baby girl 3 months ago, and recently I learned I'm not a biological father. I kicked my ex out of my place and told her I'd never want to see her again. We had a few issues recently, and today I'm told by my parents and sisters that they don't agree with me not wanting anything to do with the baby because she's still my daughter. They were fully supportive of me since this all came out, and suddenly because my ex is online over another issue we had, and how I'm abandoning a baby girl I still bonded with, they feel that they agree with her. Honestly, I feel so betrayed by this. Like I said, literally a few weeks ago they were fully supportive of me. Now they want to make me play daddy to a baby that isn't mine, with all the pain I'm still experiencing. What do I even do about that? Because now it seems like they have a pretty strong opinion about it. Now for the top advice before reading the update. If you're not the biological father, you quite literally have zero responsibility. Why would anyone expect you to take care of her or her child when you found out she cheated on you anyways? They should be ranting to the real father instead of you. Because the ex is stirring crap up online. It also probably makes him look pretty bad to kick her and a baby out on the streets. I'm sure people are reacting emotionally. Could be his family had bonded with a baby and already thought of them as theirs? I don't know. It's not a simple situation when there are tiny humans involved, as much as everyone likes to pretend the world is black and white. However, I agree you don't let a cheater who tried to baby trap you with another man's child live with you, and you certainly don't raise the baby. I would frankly tell the family that if they feel so strongly about it, they can invest their time and money raising that baby and letting the mom move in with them. The only way their argument holds water is if they are willing to step up and do what they insist Opie does. Otherwise, they're just crap-talking dummies who won't put their money where their mouth is. You're an adult. Do what's right for you. Your parents and sisters have no say in this. They're most likely projecting their disappointment of having a baby in the family onto you. Stay the course and don't let them make you second-guess your choice. Seek legal advice in your area to ensure you are not on the hook for your ex's well-being and a child. Extremely important. Otherwise, I'm sorry this happened to you. I'm glad you found out when you did. And now for the update. Man, did things really take a turn from last time I posted this. I tried talking with my family multiple times, at least to get them to understand how badly my ex cheating has messed me up, and the way it makes me feel with them trying to back me into a corner about the baby. I've told them she's not mine and I can't be involved in her life or my ex's. That's just too much for me. For a few days after, I thought they finally understood it. Then what do? My mom asks if they can come over to my place for some lunch, and they bring the baby too. Thank God it wasn't my ex too, or I probably would have lost my cool. This was the first time I ever raised my voice at my mom. It is to tell her to get the hell out. Her, my dad, and my siblings are trying to plead with me to just hold her and sit down to talk with them. Seriously, I couldn't freaking believe them. I didn't get physical, but in a way did have to push them out of my house. Got non-stop calls from them outside, and the baby was crying because they kept calling me from outside to let them in. It was a crazy time. My heart was even pounding. After that crap show, I called my mom up again to tell her I'm done with us. They're not to speak to me again, and if at some point I decide to let them back in, they are never allowed to ever bring up my ex or the baby. I told my mom I honestly can't believe she'd do that to me, her son after everything I've already been through. That betrayal hurts deep. She seems super apologetic, but that's not enough for me with the line they crossed. I'm sad that it had to come to me blocking them off for a long time. Most likely the rest of my life, since they seem so interested in having the baby in theirs, and I don't need that around me. Been spending more time with friends, going out, getting drunk, and having fun. It's a nice distraction, honestly. Here's hoping you finally have some peace. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. Your family's all kinds of horrible, and you really stepped up and protected yourself there. This, my man. You set clear and firm boundaries that your family unfortunately don't care about. And the minute you give a damn about that child, your ex is going to use that as a leverage to get you to support her awful ways. For what it's worth, blocking family's hard, but family's supposed to have your back and tell you the honest truth when needed. But that isn't family you got right now. They're so blinded by grandchild that they don't care about the harm they're doing to their own son over having the baby around. If you've got friends with career opportunities outside of town, or things you've always wanted to do that family held you back on, now's your time. Find your new way forward. Good luck on your journey. I'm considering leaving once I know my name is off the birth certificate. Last chances of my ex are them trying to force the baby on me again. Also, I'm tired and feel I need something else in my life right now. Sounds like you need a lawyer if your name is on a birth certificate. No, the biological dad is getting his name added to the birth certificate. As far as I know, is fine with owing child support but won't be involved. It's really sad. To think they would be so invested in the idea of a grandchild that they're basically asking you to distort reality and completely disregard your own feelings to humor it. What indulgent, delusional, and baffling people. It sucks having to cut off family. But I want to make it clear. It had to be done, and you stood up for your own principles. A own pursuit of happiness here in a way I think you should take pride in. Be careful with drinking though, friend. I've lost years of my life to it, let alone my lifespan, and it never helps. If you find yourself drinking more and more, especially alone, then really reflect on that. Thanks for this. I see what you mean about the drinking. I've been kind of reckless with it, because right now it feels like I want to be in self-destructive mode to feel numb for a bit. But I'll try to monitor it and make sure it doesn't get too crazy. Next story is titled, Update. I, 31 male, am reconsidering my marriage after my father-in-law's death. Original story. We have been together for 10 years, married for 5. My father-in-law passed away at the start of the year, and it has been difficult. I have been there for her. I have taken over a ton of chores. I have been a shoulder to cry on, and I have made sure she has a space to talk about him and cherish his memory. Then it has struck me that she did none of this when my father passed away. He died 3 years ago. My wife was with me during the funeral, but she didn't let me break down or take time for myself. She always said that my dad wouldn't want me to cry about him, and I should carry on working. Pulling 70-hour weeks because that is what he would have wanted, for me to be a good family man like he was. I believed her and just pushed back all the emotions. I was only able to mourn and talk about him properly with my best friend. I thought it was fine then, and I didn't want to bother her. Right now, I feel like my father's death was something he had to deal with, while her father's death is something that happened to all of us. I know it is silly to compare and contrast, but this pattern holds for most of our marriage. Her emotions and problems are our problems, while my emotions have to be processed outside our family. I honestly don't know how to bring this up. I don't think I am ready to leave her when she is still struggling, but bringing this up will just make things worse. I am terribly confused. Edited to add, it is a pattern. She is very considerate and generous in small things, but she can be selfish about big things. For instance, the reason we moved to our current city was because she loved it and she got an offer here. It was a pretty bad move for me in terms of career opportunities, but she made it clear that it was either the move or divorce. It sucked, but I made a move. Someone suggested therapy and I have been to therapy, but the money comes out of my fund money instead of our expenses. I'm not sure if she had to go, it will come out of her fund money. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Therapy money comes out of your fund money? That's a red flag right there. Therapy is medical care. It's treatment. It's preventative care. Does she pay for doctor's visits, over-the-counter pain medication, pads and tampons, etc. out of her fund money? Because this sounds like it's bordering on financial mistreatment. Therapy isn't fun. It's mental health care. Your wife sounds like an a-hole. She made you work 2 jobs worth of time each week when you were grieving. She made you bottle up your emotions. And now she expects you to step up for her when she refused to do the same for you? This isn't a healthy relationship at all. I see a lot of you giving and her taking, but not much in the other direction. Couples counseling or divorce. This sounds like an awful relationship to be a part of. Yeah, the idea of therapy money coming out of fund money is absolutely absurd. Sounds like Opie's looked on as an accessory to her life rather than a partner. I'd say couples therapy pretty sharpish. I'm sorry, Opie. Her telling you to be a family man was to deny you any grieving. And she should not be such a sexist hypocrite with support after a death. Totally yes. When my grandmother died, my dad broke down. Not only because his mother was dead now, but because his side of the family lives in another country 5,000 kilometers away. So the last time I saw her was probably 2 years before that. No one in my family cared about him being a family man then. He just was a son who grieved the loss of his mother. And my mom, brother, and I did everything we could so that he could book a flight the next few days to be able to be at her funeral and be there with his siblings. Sometimes it's okay to not be strong or 100% there for your immediate family. The loss of a beloved parent/sibling/other family member is one of them. And men are definitely allowed to grieve properly like everyone else in these situations. I'm sorry you didn't get the support you need when your father died. Is it a pattern with your wife to not be emotionally supportive of you, or was it just around your father's death? I can't really tell from your post. If you are just realizing that this is a pattern in your relationship, it's a valid and important complaint. If it was just around your father's death, I think you should talk to her about it. She may not have realized what she was doing. She may not have realized how hard it is for you. Sometimes when someone hasn't experienced a close death like that themselves, they just don't get it. But if she really thinks don't dwell and get back to work is defensible, you have some thinking to do. And now for the update. I ghosted my own wife. I want to thank all the commenters for pointing out how messed up my marriage was. I had been planning a trip to see my nephew for a while, and I finally decided to go. I flew back home, but I have been staying with my sister. I took all the important documents with me because I wanted them with me just in case. I knew that even if I try to talk with her, I will fold and stay. I needed space and I needed time. I'm surrounded by unconditional love here. Even if I hurt my sister or brother, they will be hurt and angry, but they will still love me. While my wife can turn her affection on and off like a switch. I have talked to her about divorce, and she is trying to win me back. She has even talked to me about moving back. I had to quit my job. It will hurt my career, but my boss was strangely understanding. I have also contacted a divorce attorney. I know it is going to be messy and long, but I want to do it. I really don't see a future for myself right now. And what is my most important motivation for getting a divorce that I have already made her angry? Even if I go back now, she will still be angry. I am terrified of what she will do to me to work through that anger, and we would go back to being loving after she vented. But I don't have the emotional strength to go through that, and I am deeper in every day I don't return. Divorce becomes a better option, even though I still miss her. I really do love her, but I can't live like this. I'm terrified of what she will do to me to work through that anger. Write the statement down on a piece of paper and stick it in your wallet. Anytime you have second thoughts about the divorce process, just take it out and read it. Nobody should be terrified in their own marriage. For any reason. You deserve better than this. Exactly. She sounds like a manipulative bully. And the fact he is scared of her not buying her nice act reminds me of when the bully is forced to apologize by adults. You know the apology is performative art, and when they get a chance to get you alone again? Honestly, solid advice. When I broke up with my last ex, I had to write a few of the things he did down, and read them over a few times whenever I missed him or felt weak. It's odd how terrible instances can just be drowned by a few kind gestures of love. It was rereading the really bad stuff and triggering those memories that kept me away and never went back. Go ahead and file for divorce. The sooner you do that, the sooner it will be done and she'll be out of your life. Ask the attorney how to arrange things so that all contact is done through them, so that she can't contact you directly anymore. Right now, she knows she can use her fake nice side, and it is fake, to appeal to your feelings for her so that she can use them as a weapon against you. Disallowing her direct contact with you takes that weapon away from her. Once that is started, get into therapy ASAP. Doing so will help you break the addiction to her toxicity. We can become addicted to toxic people just like we can become addicted to substances. And that will help you stay strong and allow you to truly begin to heal from the damage your wife and marriage have caused you. I am talking to my attorney and we are going to file soon. Honestly, her having to deal with a lawyer would be a good idea. Her fake nice side feels so real that I don't know if it is fake, but I know there is still a lot of anger lurking there. I'm planning to go to therapy. Thank you for commenting. Divorce becomes a better option even though I still miss her. I really do love her, but I can't live like this. Sometimes love just isn't enough. Start divorce proceedings so you can move on with the rest of your life. Going to file soon. I really want to get it over with. Now for the last story. Did I, 30 male, make a mistake in telling my girlfriend's 29 female a fair partner? We had dated for 4 years now and I thought things were great and sweet. She seemed emotionally supportive and we helped each other in our problems when needed. A few months ago though, when I was fixing her phone, I noticed flirty texts between him and her. I told her to stop with the flirting, but despite her promises, I found out from her phone, when I had to fix it again, that they were hooking up. I went to my friend's house and texted both of them that I knew, and that my relationship was over. The affair partner then called me and said he had no idea she was still with me. She had told him that I was the abusive ex. He told me he wouldn't speak to her anymore and invited me to chat with him someday. The next day, my now ex-girlfriend came in and screamed me out of ruining a great thing. It got to the point when she tried to stab me, and I had to literally fight for my life by punching her out. Cops were called and she was arrested. I know I should feel relieved, but now I'm wondering if I could have just told her instead of both of them that I knew the affair and avoided the drama. You did the right thing. If you'd have talked to her, she'd have denied it, probably, and told her affair partner more lies. I screenshot the text to end up confirming it. You still did the right thing. Now he has the chance to review his decision to stay with her. You didn't ruin a good thing. She did by cheating on you. I don't think you made a mistake, and I'm glad you were away from her and unscathed. You called her out for the flirty texts, and she kept going to the point of sleeping with a guy. When you contacted the other guy, he felt like an a-hole because she lied about you and the person you are, so he dropped her out of respect, and also by recognizing that if she is doing this to you, she would have no problem doing it to him. And after all that, she still came after you, her boyfriend and significant other, about ruining a good thing that she had with that guy, despite being with you? And then she tries to stab you. I'd say you were lucky to be out of that relationship, as she tried to harm you over the fact that she cheated on you. It was more of how I handled it I'm worried about. I was definitely going to leave no matter what.